But the big story that we are breaking tonight, US President Donald Trump has announced an additional 25% tariff on India. The total US tariff now on India has reached 50%, among the highest in the world. The government says the US actions are unfair, unjustified and unreasonable. The government of India has said we will take all actions necessary to protect national interests. Government says oil imports from Russia are designed to ensure energy security of 1.4 billion people. So clearly the tariff war, if anything, tonight has escalated between India and the United States. How is India now intending to respond as Trump escalates tariffs once again? Karishma Asudani from Business Today, Pranay Upadhyay, who tracks the Ministry of External Affairs, and Rohit Sharma in Washington are joining us at the moment. I want to come to you, Pranay, first, because we've just got a Ministry of External Affairs response. Can you tell us exactly what the MEA intends to do? Lots of fine words in their response, but they're still not naming the US president anywhere.
Definitely, Rajdeep, you're absolutely right. Government of India, if you see the consecutive responses from Government of India, the Ministry of External Affairs, there is a caution, a carefully crafted statement where there seems to be no direct engagement with the US president, no engagement at the level of leadership in terms of his verbal, verbal attacks. But if you see the points, it's a 5-point statement. Earlier we have seen the 6-point statement issued by Government of India, and now this is a 5-point statement in response to the executive order issued by the US President Donald Trump. Clearly, there are two important things. One, what India did in terms of purchase of crude oil from Russia is actually driven by the market factors and also to ensure the energy security for 1.4 billion people. If you see, India's daily oil import is around 52 lakh barrel, and at the highest peak, the contribution of the Russian oil or Russian crude was only 40%, which comes to about around 20 lakh barrel per day. So if you see that thing, India wanted to make this point here is that what we did with the market factors, we did at the time when US wanted the market to be stabilized, and that's why India went to being the big importer of energy. We wanted to buy oil from Russia. Second, very important point, that India will take all actions necessary to protect the national interest. So India has linked it with the energy security and the national interest of India, the way we are purchasing oil. And this statement has come at a time when India's national security advisor Ajit Doval is in Moscow, and he will be holding important talks, and Russian President Vladimir Putin is also expected to visit India. So clearly the message of strategic autonomy, the message of India's trade independence, and in a way you rightly pointed out, Rajdeep, that this is an escalatory tone from the either side, because India has also given out a message that we are not going to buckle down to or succumb to this pressure.
Let's bring in Karishma Asudani. Karishma Asudani, what are India's options in terms of retaliatory trade? Is India at all speaking about any retaliatory tariffs, or just waiting for the situation to cool down in the Commerce Ministry in particular?
Rajdeep, our tone does not look like we are going to retaliate. In fact, if you see, we've been composed, we've been measured and calm in our responses. By the way, this has been the quickest that we have responded to the US for the comments that President Donald Trump has been giving us in the last few weeks pertaining to especially our trade with Russia. And if you look at this is a very classic Trump trade tariff theatrics, where he punishes and then he offers a floor of negotiations, saying that if you align with us, we'll roll it back. And he's done this with China, he's done this with EU, and he's now doing it with us. Now, Ministry of Commerce and of course Ministry of External Affairs, in total the government is keeping a strong eye on it. Officials in PMO have also been doing regular meetings regarding this, and especially pertaining to oil from Russia. Let's bring in data, Rajdeep. It's going to be very difficult to take an overnight decision of cutting off our trade with Russia when it comes to oil, because 40% of our dependence and import is from Russia, and we cannot cut it overnight, because that's going to put us in a lot of problem. And more than that, it's going to increase the crude oil prices, which I'm sure the US will also not like, because they'll also have to buy oil expensive from wherever they are buying, from different countries that they are sourcing it from. So in a way, we are playing the role of a mediator. I think it's just the clash of ego that's happening, a one-sided clash of ego, a lopsided chessboard that is being played, and I'm sure with negotiations this could be solved via proper diplomatic means.
Let me bring in Rohit Sharma from Washington. He's the one who broke that story earlier this evening. Rohit, what's the mood in Washington? Is Donald Trump in a mood to give India room to negotiate after a cooling off period, as some are suggesting? Or is he likely to simply go for the jugular at the moment? Is he trying to bully India in a way?
Well, it definitely is Rajdeep negotiating, from that standpoint, where he wants to send a message not only to India, but if you read the executive order, to all other nations also, he's putting them on notice as well. The silver lining, although, is that it's going to take effect 21 days from now, and the deadline of this executive order, when the additional 25% tariffs will take place, it would probably coincide with the end of the month, which is when the next trade level talks are scheduled to happen. So I think there is that breathing window of another 3.5 weeks where India might be able to get back on the negotiating table and try to offer something to Donald Trump. Like we already know, can't negotiate on dairy and those products, but what else can India offer? And I think that's why he's put in those 21 days in there to ensure that the negotiation can continue. And as far as President Trump is concerned, we've seen him on US media. He's been going on and talking about how Russia has been enabled, or India has enabled Russia to fight this war by purchasing oil. He did that yesterday. His NEC this morning said the same thing. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out in the next couple of weeks.
We leave it there. Our reporters joining us from different parts of India and the world, covering the ministries